It's The Brick Wall on PATV. Tonight, we welcome back the very talented young musician, Laura Lederer. Plus, we have the comedic stylings of Jim Riya, Bonnie Scalisi, and John Oliveira. But first, here's your host, Adam Sperling. Probably shouldn't have sustained that for the whole time. Thank you. I'm back, much to all of your dismay. But where is Peter, you're asking me? Well, here's my answer in the form of a jacket. Yeah, I said it. Peter is still gone, and I am reaping all of the benefits. But I know what you're thinking. You're still talking about that jacket. That's yesterday's news. Well, screw that. We're a bi-weekly show. It's hard to stay current. But on the plus side, we still have better jokes than Jimmy Kimmel. So, in the spirit of not letting last week's gag slip through our fingers, I'd like to introduce our latest segment called FLOTUS Fashion Failures. Say that 5 times fast. Let's take a look at some of the other controversial jackets Melania was caught wearing. I can't even imagine that. What else do we have? Okay, that's totally backwards. Everyone knows that it's the cereal first, then the orange soda. Well, she has a point, but unfortunately that point is wrong. You'd think that after all of the time avoiding Trump steaks and taco bowls that she'd have better taste. You know, I kind of agree with this one. Ooh, well, if it's not one Mad Titan, then it's another. Well, this has been FLOTUS Fashion Failures. Thank you. I hope you've had as much fun as I have, and to quote Hillary Clinton, I have been Hillary Clinton. Before we begin, I'd like to give a bit of personal news. This is my second time hosting, so we're friends, right? This summer, I'm going to be bringing a fully fledged comedy show to PATV. 4 30-minute episodes to be aired this August. It's going to be a variety show packed with sketches, late-night style segments, game shows, and all that jazz. And also jazz. So make sure you like PATV on Facebook to get all of the updates, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Adam J. Sperling, to catch all of my content. All right, so let's get down to the show. Welcome back to The Brick Wall. We are PATV's premier open mic variety show. You can follow us on social media at PATV Brick Wall. And as I said before, be sure to like PATV Long Island on Facebook to watch us anytime we go live. And would you like to come down here and perform for the entertainment of literally people? Then email patvbrickwall@gmail.com and we will get you on the show. We have a really great show for you tonight. We have a bunch of stand-up comedy for you to chortle at from the very talented likes of John Oliveira, Jim Riya, and Bonnie Scalisi. But first, we have the very talented Laura Lederer back on the show, and she's going to perform for us right now. Give it up for Laura.
Hey, my name is Laura Lederer. I'm really excited to be back here at the Brick Wall. I will be covering 3 amazing songs for you guys from 2 legendary artists. First up, I'll be playing Who's That Girl by Madonna, which is a really fun song, and that is one of my favorites. So here's Who's That Girl?
She's trouble in a word.
For my next song, I'll be playing Downeaster Alexa by Billy Joel, which I chose because it talks about the life of a fisherman and how hard it is to be a fisherman on Long Island, and I really appreciate it because I live on Long Island. So here's Downeaster Alexa. For my final song for today, I'll be playing Live to Tell by Madonna. I chose another Madonna song because I thought this is one of Madonna's greatest ballads, and I am a huge Madonna fan. So here's Live to Tell. I have a tale to tell. If I ran away, I never have the strength to go very far. How will they hear the beating of my heart? Will it grow cold, the secret that I hide? Will I grow old? How will they hear? When will they learn? How will they know? A man can tell 1,000 lies. I've learned my lesson well. Hope I live to tell the secret I have learned. Till then, it will burn inside of me. The truth is never far behind. You've kept it hidden well. If I live to tell the secret I knew then, will I ever have the chance again?
Laura Lederer, everybody. Amazing preschool full to see. Amazing job.
Thank
And
you.
you are 11 years old.
Yep.
That's insane, right, guys? You have such a powerful voice.
Thank you.
How long have you been singing?
Since I was about 6 years old.
So that's 30, 40 years, right? I think I made that joke 2 weeks ago. But you've been singing for 5, 6 years. Where do you like to sing? What's your ideal spot?
I like to sing at some clubs like Mulcahy's. I've
Nice.
sung at.
And you do musical theater, I hear?
Yep.
Who have you played?
I've played Adelaide in Guys and Dolls,
Nice role.
Mother Superior in Sister Act, and Timon in The Lion King.
Wow, that's some good stuff. So what else do you do besides music?
Like you said, I like to act in musicals. That's what I do most of the time when I'm not playing the guitar.
And do you act in school or do you act outside of school?
Both.
Both.
I do plays at my school, and I do plays at Cultural Arts Playhouse in Syosset.
Nice. And you also like to write, I hear?
Yeah, I'm a big writer. I have a lot of passions, and writing's one of them. And a lot of people told me that my writing's great, so maybe I'll do something with that.
Yeah, definitely. And then combining writing, songs, can we get a future in singer-songwriter for you?
Yeah, probably.
I am looking forward to that. So are you doing anything else soon that we can look out for you?
Yes, I'll be doing a guitar performance August 12th. The place has not been confirmed yet, but all the new information will be posted on my website.
You have a website. That's crazy to me. I'm 17. I haven't even been to a website, let alone make my own. How did that come about?
Well, after I started doing a lot of shows, my dad suggested that I start having a website since I've been on the brick wall. So.
That's really cool. And I'm assuming, yep, lauralederer.com. Great name for a website. Laura, thank you so much for being on the brick wall. It's been an honor talking to you and having you on the show. Right now, we have some shameless promotion for you, but after that, Jim Riya. Thanks, Laura. Shameless indeed. Thanks to Laura again. Jim Riya.
Thank you, thank you. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. All right, great. So have you ever noticed? It seems like everyone in this country has either been sexually harassed, or has been accused of sexual harassment. The other day at work, this guy goes up to the girl and he goes, "Your hair smells great." And she goes, "Sexual harassment." And she runs to the human resource department. So the person in the human resource department goes, "What's the problem?" "All he said was your hair smells great." And she goes, "He's a midget." So I have a son, he works in a strip club, okay? And he's a bar back there. So I'm always trying to tell him, being a responsible parent, "Dylan, you gotta quit this job and you gotta go back to school." He goes, "Dad, let me tell you something." He goes, "I make $200 a night in cash to smoke pot with my boss and to watch girls get naked." And he goes, "And then at the end of the night, okay, when the girls are too drunk to drive themselves home, my boss pays me another $200 to drive them home." And he goes, "You know what I do when I get them home?" He goes, "I fuck them." I go, "Dylan, can you ask your boss if you can get me a job there?" So I see we have young people in the crowd today. I like it. I usually never get to talk to young people unless it's in the parking lot of a 7-Eleven and they're asking me to buy them beer. And I never get to talk to girls this young unless they're sitting on my lap in a strip club giving me a dance. And that's usually pretty awkward because I know I'm enjoying it way more than they are. But I'm all right with that because I feel like the young people today, they need to learn how hard they have to work for $20. You know, people always put down the millennials, but I've actually found, the millennials are actually very, very good at giving, lap dances and blowjobs. I've also found millennial girls, they love to have sex with older men for money. I've also found millennials are a tremendous, tremendous resource if you're looking to find a really good drug dealer. So you see, even millennials have a purpose in our society, which is good. So did you guys hear? They have a new test now to find out if you've been smoking marijuana while you're driving. So what happens is the police officer comes up to your car with a bag of Doritos and he says, "Do you want some?" So the other day I'm on the internet and I'm looking at some porn. So as I'm looking at some porn, I type in the words, "teen redhead with freckles fucks her brother." And up pops up a news story. What the fuck am I supposed to do with the news story? I can't jerk off to a news story, all right? I need to leave a few videos or a picture or something. I mean, what type of sick, fucked up country do we live in when a guy goes to look up some porn on the internet and up pops up a story about some girl sleeping with their brother? I mean, this country going to hell in a handbag. I mean, this country's going to shit, man. Come on. When it comes to understanding women, men are just fucking clueless. I mean, they're fucking clueless. I mean, if a guy goes into a bar and a girl says to him, "Do you want to buy me a drink?" I mean, he's thinking, she wants to fuck me. And then, if he says, if he goes to buy her a second drink, he's expecting a blowjob and a rim job. And then if he goes and buys her a third drink, he's expecting her to take the morning after pill the next day. But if a guy buys a girl a drink, she's just thinking, this guy's a sucker. And then if he buys her a second drink, she's thinking, he's a really big sucker. And if he buys her a third drink, she's thinking, this guy might have some money. I wonder what type of car he drives. I go into a bar the other day, and I said to this girl, "What's your name?" And she goes, "Can't hear you. The music's too loud." So I said, "My name's Jim." She goes, "I can't hear you. The music's too loud." So I said, "I have some cocaine." She goes, "You have cocaine?" I don't do cocaine. I just like the smell of it. So you all see this ring on my finger? I got it for 89 cents on Amazon. I mean, I lose these rings all the time. So I'm married, but that's a fucking disaster. Fucking disaster. The other day, I went to have sex with my wife. She goes, "Your dick looks a lot like a penis, only smaller." Then she said the 4 words that will crush any man's ego. "Is it in yet?" I feel like women definitely put their best foot forward when they're dating. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I mean, before I married my wife, she never farted. I never saw her take a shit. Her pussy never grew any hair. Her ass smelled like flowers. All right? And her pussy was as tight as it could ever be. Now, after marriage, she farts while she's sleeping. She shits like a motherfucker after a meal. Her pussy looks like an afro from the 70s. And after 3 kids, forget about being tight. When we go to make love, You know, it's like a fucking glass of lukewarm water. I mean, it's fucking marriage. It's a fucking scam. Don't even get me started on blowjobs. Blowjobs aren't remotely the same before and after marriage. It's not even close. When a woman goes to give you a blowjob before she's married, she's sucking with a purpose. She wants a ring. She'll fucking suck the life out of you. But after marriage, no. All the incentive's gone. Okay? The night of my wedding, I said to my wife, honey, give me a blowjob. So she took her mouth, she put it over my cock, but no part of her lips ever touched my dick. Then she started breathing on it lightly. She started jerking it off from underneath. I said, what are you doing? She goes, I'm giving you a blowjob. She's like, I always do. Never again is that woman giving me a real blowjob. Never again. And anal sex and all this foreplay stuff, okay? Those are fun playthings when you're dating. If you try that shit after you're married, she's calling the police to file assault charges. Now, I like to warn my friends before they get married. That's why I tell them, once you get married, doggy style changes. And they go, it does? I go, yeah, it does. I go, after you get married, doggy style is when the man sits up in bed and he begs for sex and the woman rolls over and plays dead. Actually, I look at marriage a lot like a tornado. It starts off with a lot of sucking and blowing, but then it just usually ends up with you losing your house. So I said to my wife the other day, you know, you got to get a job. She goes, I have a job. Fucking you. I said, yeah, but you only do that job once every like 2 weeks for 20 minutes. I go, and then you take a sick day when you have your period. You take a personal day when you have a headache. And when you're mad at me, you don't go to work at all. If you ask me, that sounds like the best job in the world. She goes, have you ever sucked a man's dick or licked his asshole? It's not the best job in the world. So you're probably all wondering, where does this guy keep losing all these rings? Okay? Sometimes I go into a bar, you know, see a hot girl, I'll take my ring off, I'll leave it on the bar, I'll lose it there. Sometimes I'll go into a strip club and by accident I'll leave it inside one of the girls. I mean, not on purpose or anything. All right, you know, I've been doing a lot of complaining tonight about marriage, but I really can't complain. After 18 years of marriage, I'm still getting blowjobs. Now, my wife ever found out, she'd fucking kill me. All right, thank you very much, guys. You've been a great crowd.
Jim Riya.
Thank you.
So, how long have you been doing this?
About 7 months, 7 months, something like that.
And how'd you start?
Just went and took a comedy class, but one of my friends one time just said, why don't you get up there and do an open mic? So I got up there and did an open mic, and when I did the open mic, I loved the applause on stage, and I just figured, you know what, I'm just going to keep doing this. I like it.
Now, were they lying? Was it fake applause?
No, I think there were some people in the crowd that really liked the crazy stuff I was saying.
Good, that's better than I've ever done. Exactly. So, what do you do? What's your non-comedy gig?
I usually just fight with my wife, you know. That's usually how I get most of my material.
Yeah, exactly.
We're in the middle of a fight, and I'm like, honey, I have to write this down. This is like gold. And she's like, we're in the middle of a fight.
That's how comedy
works,
works, honestly.
I don't want to forget it.
Who inspires you to do comedy?
Usually all the bad stuff that happens in my marriage, I'm like, I got to get this is like free therapy. I mean, normally you have to pay $125 an hour. I get to get up there and bitch about all my problems
And
for
get
free.
paid $0 an hour.
Yeah, it's great.
Exactly.
At least I'm spending it.
So I hear you have a fun story about George Carlin.
Okay, well, I'll tell it very quickly. So one time, my friend who's actually here in the audience tonight, he went and saw the Friday night show of George Carlin, and it was about 2 hours. And then he invited me to come to the Saturday night show with them to see George Carlin. But I'd worked like 80 hours that week. I was really, really tired. So about 35 minutes into the show, okay, I fall asleep in the second row.
As you do.
And George Carlin just walks up to me, and he's like, looks, and he just walks off stage. He never comes back. And everyone's laughing, thinking he's going to come back. He never came back.
So you shut down a George Carlin show.
Oh, yeah.
That's a claim to fame if I've ever heard one. So where can we see you?
Okay, well, you know, I run an open mic every Tuesday night at Coasters, okay, which is in East Meadow. It's on Newbridge Road. Okay, it's the friendliest open mic you'll ever go to. We let you pick the spot you want to perform in. We let you decide how long you want to perform. You can practice any material you want. I'm also going to be performing, though, at Governor's in Levittown on Thursday, July 19th, okay? That's actually the Long Island Laugh-Off, and I'm going to be trying to do really well. So anyone can come down. I'd really, really appreciate it. I'll promise you a great show.
All right, Jim Riya.
Thank you. Thank you
Pleasure
very
to
much.
meet you. And thank you, Jim. Up next, Bonnie Scalisi.
So I'm going through a midlife crisis, and I'm seeing a shrink. Actually, I've never seen her. She's a millennial. I text her my problems. We did finally meet in her office. She is really young. I had to breastfeed her. So I'm telling her, I look in the mirror lately, and I look so tired. Why is that? She said, because you are tired. And this is the advice I'm getting for $125 an hour? Thanks. I had no idea. So I'm retired. I taught kindergarten for over 30 years. It's ingrained in my brain. Everywhere I go, I'm yelling at people. At a restaurant, hey, take turns with the ketchup. Put your head on the table. And you, young lady, you don't need all those fries. Learn how to share. Share! At the movies. Shh, no talking. Keep it up. You want me to call your mother? It got so bad. At dinner the other night, my husband put his hand on my knee. I told him, I'm going to give you a timeout. So I used to be overweight. Actually, I was fat. I was so fat, a car hit me once. I said, why didn't you go around me? He said, I didn't think I had enough gas. People say, how did you lose all that weight? I have a weight loss program. You ready? Ready? Stop eating so much food. That's it. Now, I'm so skinny, if I died, I wouldn't need pallbearers. A waiter could do it. So I am short and skinny, and when I wear my hair in pigtails, I look like a 12-year-old. I get Baskin-Robbins kid cones, and I get in movies half price. But there is always a strange man in an unmarked van following me around, offering me candy. Yeah, I'm gonna fall for that. Like I wanna be fat again? Remember that song, Short People Have No Reason to Live? Except if they're at the bank making a big deposit, then those short people get hot, tall women. Even at Starbucks, when I order coffee to feel better, I always order the tall. I'm so short, when I go to the bank, I barely reach the counter. I have to reach up for the money like a ballerina strapped for cash. I love sushi. Did you ever wonder what sushi chefs do when they're not rolling sushi? They give each other hand jobs. What else would they do? I went to the nail salon for the first time. I decided to try it. While my nails are drying, she starts giving me a back massage. A back massage without having to give anything in return? I had to stop my automatic response to kneel down and give her a blowjob. My husband is Italian and Jewish. So he's so cheap, he tries to extort money from himself. He wants me to be more forceful in bed. I already have to force myself to have sex with him. I'm getting older. Sometimes I'm tight. I pick up a tube of KY jelly. It was fine. But my husband recommends I get the quart size. My husband hates driving with me. I drive with 2 feet, one on the gas and one on the brake. He says it is like he is in a rodeo on a bucking bronco. The other day, he said he wishes I could do that in bed. I'm so naive and trusting, a stranger motioned me to pull over. He said my tires need to be pumped up. 2 hours later, I was pumped up all right at the Pine Motors Lodge. My husband loves sex. We have sex constantly. Well, he has sex. I just lie there. He says if I died during one of our marathon sex sessions, he couldn't tell the difference. I'm tired. What am I, 19? You want me to pass out and die so you could collect my insurance? Why don't we get you one of those real-life sex dolls? I'll watch and talk dirty. It would be so much easier on my knees. My husband always calls me stupid, 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 because I lose everything, which is true. I lose my keys, I lose my watch, my jewelry. The other day, I was frightened because I thought I lost my nipples. But then I found them. They were right there. No, that was my 20s. They were right there. Now after my boob job, they'll be back there. Thanks, everybody.
You can keep that. So what I'm hearing is I should stop following you from my white van. That's what I get from this. Okay. So you're a retired kindergarten teacher. How did you make that switch to comedy? Because that's like a 180.
Well, I always used to really stress from the job of being a teacher by going to the comedy club, and I loved watching the comedians. And when I retired, my husband set me up with an email. I was never on social media, and one of my first emails was from Governor's Comedy Clubs about comedy college, and so I decided to take the class, and I loved it. And I'm still a work in progress. Obviously, I still have a lot to learn, but I'm getting up there. I'm trying it, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know a bunch of people who've come on the show have been from comedy college. So maybe we should make a deal with comedy college so they can get all the people from there to come on here.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
And,
write that down.
And Jim and John, who's going to be next, we were in the same class together.
It's a reunion.
Yeah, so we.
So you also mentioned to me you're a mom of 3 kids?
Mom of 3 kids, right? I have 2 boys and a girl, and 2 of my boys are autistic. So my husband and I have a lot of stress in our home life, and the comedy helps to relieve the stress. I drag him out to things, and sometimes he laughs, sometimes he doesn't.
He pretends to laugh. So where can we see you after today?
So as Jim says, the 3 of us run an open mic at Coasters in East Meadow. I'm going to be in the Little Room at Governor's on July 8th. Sean Brown is producing the show, and you could see me there, and every Tuesday at Coasters.
Seems like a trend. Bonnie, thank you so much for being on the show.
So nice to meet you. Again.
You're not as short as you make it out to be.
I'm wearing heels.
It's the TV. All right, thank you again, Bonnie. I'll take this. All right, hands together. All right, and tonight's last comedian, I'll speak into the mic as well, double mic, John Oliveiro. Yeah. Buttoning up his shirt. However much you want.
Yeah. All right. All right, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Yeah, right. Don't pretend like you care too much, right? Nobody really cares, right? Do you think the first person that ever said that also walked away as soon as they said it? Nobody listens. I learned this as a kid, actually, at a really young age. My grandpa, he used to take me to the corner store to get the paper, and everybody would be like, "Oh, Ed, how you doing? How you doing?" And he would always be like, 6 7/8. So I asked him, I'm like, "Well, Grandpa, what does this mean?" And he's like, "Well, it's my hat size." So as an 8-year-old, I'm baffled here. Well, Grandpa, why are you telling me hat size? Then he leans in, like I'm about to get that life lesson, that grandpa advice. He's like, "Son, because nobody gives a shit." Thanks, Gramps. Well, yeah, that was my grandpa. He's probably rolling in his grave with the way society is today, all offended and by everything. It's like, how do we get here? I really can't understand how we got here. I think a lot of it has to do with the kid shows that we used to watch growing up. Like, it's all colorful shit, no context. These kids don't learn nothing. Like, anybody here have kids? Everybody have kids? Right? You guys ever see this, the Teletubbies? You ever see that?
Yeah.
Colorful shit, no context, right? You put that on the TV, it's like a human bug zapper. I'm in the back corner, like, don't look at the light, don't look at the light. Meanwhile, my 2-year-old daughter's like climbing on the TV stand, trying to get into it. Or Yo Gabba Gabba. You guys seen this one?
Yes.
Like, that's how I want my kid to learn, right? From a giant one-eyed monster with herpes saying, "Don't burn your friends." It's crazy, man. And the politics, too. The politics. Like, no matter where you go, you can't get away from being tossed into a political party anymore. It's impossible. Like, for example, like you go to a place, you guys are in a room, you're having a simple cheers, right? Simple cheers. Now, Photoshop app away from being a room full of Nazis. Yeah? You can't even order a drink anymore, right? You go to the bar, you go to order like a fancy beer, like one of those IPAs, like Dogfish Head or whatever. And you got these guys over here like, "Look at this liberal snowflake. Thinks he's better than everybody with his fancy beer and his education." Right? And then, God forbid, you get an American beer like a Bud or a Coors. Then the other side of the bar is like, "How far right is this guy? He's probably even got a job." He's sitting there with all his facts. I ordered a shot of tequila. I thought I was going to get deported.
People start building shot glass walls around me and shit. It's crazy, man. It's like, I don't understand these people. Like, why does everybody do this? I mean, then I think social media has a lot to do with it. Like, honestly, you get Facebook likes, you guys are all addicted, and Zuckerberg is your pusher, right? You just jump up there, you post something controversial, you wait for the likes to flood in, then you just tie off and you just want to jam them all right in your freaking arm, right? It won't be long before you're hiding in dark alleys just mugging people for status updates. And then as soon as you start to recover a little bit, then they hit you with that update. Like, oh, you thought those likes were good. Now we got hearts, ha-has, and wows now, bro. Got people jumping off of buildings and shit. No one ever wows me, man. I got home the other day, and my wife is standing in the living room, and she's like, I saw you liked my pic. It's like, yeah, it was nice. She's like, but you didn't love it. Like, oh shit, it's in the house. You can't get away from it. It's everywhere, man. The other day I Googled shower bases because I'm doing some work at my house. 3 seconds later, my entire news feed is filled with home improvement products. It's like, oh, I haven't heard from you in 3 seconds. We got that shit too. It's crazy though, but I'll tell you, man. I mean, these people. I love these people though. I love everybody. I love everybody so much that I actually started a career around talking to them. So I'm in sales. Anybody else here college dropout? All right, because that's what you do when you don't have an education. You beg for money. Right? The only difference between me and a homeless person is a necktie. Right? I used to like people, and now I just see a bunch of one-word answers starving my kids. And everywhere you go, all these sales trainings are exactly the same. Don't take no for an answer. But not one single company ever shows up with the bail money. All right? I got my manager over here telling me I should practice my pitch in the mirror. I say like one line, like 10 minutes later, I realize I've just been making faces at myself the whole time. Like, yeah, thanks, boss. My pitch didn't get any better, but my blackheads are all gone. So I'll give him that one. But yeah, for the last like 5 years, I've been trying to become a city firefighter. Like, how bad you have to hate your career for your 5-year plan for you to run into burning buildings? It's crazy, man. So clearly I'm a big drinker. Well, a little drinker. I just like big bottles. But I kind of blame my parents a little bit for that one, too. Not because they were bad parents or anything. Strictly heritage. Half Irish and half Puerto Rican. So, like, let's be honest. I never stood a chance. Right? Not that matters, because most people can't tell that I'm standing anyway. But it's not easy being a Spanish leprechaun. I'll tell you, it's conflicting, man. I do my best not to break character, but it's conflicting. Like you get to the club and your song comes on and your hips and your feet want to do two different things, you're just like, all of a sudden you just, where the hell did that come from? Right? And this pot of gold thing. Like, am I supposed to guard it or steal it? Right? I feel like you're going to order me at a racist fast food restaurant. Like, can I help you? Yeah, I'll have the McSpick meal, please. Extra beans and supersize the Jameson. Por favor. You ever try to speak Spanish in an Irish accent? Yeah, somehow I just defaulted to Long Island Italian. Right? I'm like a lawn gnome with a knife and a Peroni. I've been on like 3 ski trips, never been skiing. Everybody's pulling out their skis and their boots and whatnot, and my Puerto Rican ass pulls out a case of rum. But I'll tell you, man, that kind of drinking will make you make some crazy decisions, like crazy decisions. Like, for instance, I just got married. Yeah, well, I'm kidding. I knew she was the one. After only 11 years and 2 kids. I just had to be sure, But despite what people say, nothing's really changed since the rings. She still knows to call me from the other room with a dire emergency, like the second my ass is about to hit the couch. Like, babe, there's no more toilet paper left on the roll. I'm going to need you to retile this whole bathroom. And with that being said, who has ever contemplated murder? Charles Manson, the serial killer guy, he had it all wrong trying to motivate and convince all those people to kill. All he needed to do was find families of 4 and give them a specific time they need to be somewhere. Like, what kind of murder are you in the mood for? Passionate? Give them an hour's notice. You want premeditated? Give them a month. But have it be something that requires the wife to buy a new dress. But no, I'm just kidding. I can never hurt my family. But what I will do is if I get home and nobody else is there, I'll go to the bathroom, I'll lock the door, I'll pull up the internet and murder all my future children. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. That's my time.
John Oliveira, everybody. See, funny thing is, you are one letter away from my all-time favorite comedian, and maybe one more set away from my all-time favorite comedian.
Okay.
One more set? No, I'm not. I mean, John Oliver. Do you get confused for him much?
Your favorite? Yeah. All right.
You want to? Do you ever get emails from people who think that they're talking to John Oliver?
The first show I was ever on outside of comedy college.
Yeah.
The guy who made the banner for the show took my picture from Facebook, but it wasn't me. It was a John Oliver. He was like 53 years old, so his face and his name, but it was me on the show.
Nice.
And the guy wasn't even a comedian. He was just some random dude that he just searched and found. So
they were all pleasantly
interesting,
surprised,
yeah.
I guess.
So I guess I started my career as John Oliver, I guess.
Wow.
You could say that, yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
He just ended his career, John. So comedy college, you were in the same class as the other comedians
Yeah,
here?
same thing. Governor's Comedy College. So we had our first show probably around this time about a year ago. So yeah, only been doing it for a little bit so far. Liking it.
Yeah. So who are some of your inspirations?
Well, some of my favorite comedians, I guess, obviously, like, there's the greats, like Louis C.K. was definitely, like, my top. Bill Burr, Kevin Hart, those kind of guys. That's kind of like...
Icons.
Yeah, icons.
In good ways and bad.
Inspiration. Yeah, good ways and bad. Well, on stage.
On stage, yes. We can leave it at that.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, exactly.
So what got you into comedy?
A bunch of my friends just kept telling me, like, I should do it. You should do stand-up. And also being in sales, I was, like, looking at it as, like, a fun way to do public speaking classes. And then I just turned out to, like, really enjoy it. So I'm like, see where this takes me.
Yeah. I mean, Spanish, Irish, there's a whole hour-long set with that.
Yeah, you can. It's never ending. Wait till I start talking about my other sides of the family, then that's when
How
the
many
hour
sides do you
special
have?
come in.
How many sides do you have?
There's like 4.
4. Okay, that's manageable.
Each parent has been married like 3 times.
Got it. Well, it's a lot of parents.
Yeah.
So where are we going to be able to see you?
I'll be at Governor's in the Little Room July 6th for Aragona's comedy show.
My birthday.
All right, so you better come then.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, I'll sing to you on stage if you show up.
Okay.
I will, I promise.
But not Happy Birthday. Has to be an
Whatever you
original
want.
song.
Whatever you want.
Or one of the covers
I'll
from
sing
Laura.
my entire act.
You can do one of Laura's covers. That would be good.
There you go. And then I'll be at the Wild Rose July 21st. That's in Farmingdale.
Nice. Any future aspirations? I know we had this discussion earlier. Inspirations versus aspirations. Do you have any aspirations?
I'm not good with words.
Well, then this is the career for you, my friend. John Oliveira. Let's get all of our performers up. Laura might be in a minute. Mike, if you want to grab her. All right, so do we have any last words? Okay, you guys can all come closer to me. I'll move this way. There we go. That works. Any last words before I kill you all? No? None?
You want to hear a joke?
Sure, go for it. I mean, that's why we're here. Hey, Laura's back. You still want to tell the joke?
No, thank you.
Fair enough. Laura, you have any last words before I kill them? You're safe. You're fine. All right, so I'm going to be closing out. All right, thank you all for joining us tonight. We had a great show. Thanks to our performers, Laura Lederer, John Oliveira, Jim Riya, and Bonnie Scalisi. I think I got that order right. Remember to follow The Brick Wall on social media at PATV Brick Wall. Like us on Facebook, PATV Long Island. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, shameless plug again, Adam J. Sperling. And it's not scrolling, but I'll just keep talking. It's been fun. Peter, and come and perform, email patvbrickwall@gmail.com. Peter might be back in 2 weeks, or it might be me again. I look forward to seeing him back. This has been PATV's Brick Wall. Good night, everybody.